Phew! I managed to make it until lunch break. I was beat.
これで半日終了ですね。いかがでしたか、オール君。初めてのノーブル学園の授業は。
How should I put it? Everything more or less went over my head.
我が校は偏差値70を少し超えるところですから、慣れないうちは戸惑うやもしれませんね。
Maybe that's why I couldn't keep up. To be perfectly blunt, my old school had horrible test scores. I couldn't retain anything the teacher said.
そうですか。それが僕の教科書をたった3時間で落書きだらけにした理由で。
Sorry, I was bored.
困りますよ、オーロ君。いくら庶民とはいえ、そちらも礼儀ですね。
But I couldn't stop mid-doodle. Weren't you watching me and giggling anyway?
それは。
Come on, Kikuchio. Look at this doodle of Ishikawa Takuboku's face. Who's that?
いかん。僕としたことが偉人の顔を笑うなどと貴族の風上にも。
Hello, I'm the new Ishikawa Takuboku.
すっかり菊千代くんと仲良くなったわね。
Yeah.
いえ。消しゴム消しゴム。ああ、キュリー夫人が裸に。
あー、キュリー夫人って横向いてるから胴体書き足す系の落書きは腕の見せ所だよね。
Drawing Ishikawa Takuboku's smooth face is a piece of cake, but this takes real talent. Pretty good, huh?
うまい。
うまいとか、それよりなぜ裸なんです？
Because her clothes were a pain.
おっぱいがおばあ
Off he went. What a weird guy.
予想はしていたけど、オーロは友達を作るのが得意ね。私が間に入るより先に仲良しさんが増えちゃうなんて。
It helps that he doesn't complain about anything I do. Besides,
また仲良さそうに。市松め。
我が子を切ってのノーブル、六音寺くんにまで慣れ慣れしくしていたわよ。
other than Kikuchio, my classmate's mood was less than stellar. With half a day elapsed, two distinct sets of eyes were directed at me whenever we had a break and I spoke with Sylvie. The first sets of eyes, which belonged to Reina and Kikuchio, were favorable. They weren't entirely sold on me yet, but I couldn't be all bad if Sylvie liked me. The second set of eyes was harsh. My classmates saw me as nothing more than an annoying commoner trying to butter up Princess Sylvia. What a pain in the butt. Well, this was only my first day. Maybe I could turn things around.
それよりシルビー、今日はどうする？わかってる？今日こそメロンパン日和だわ。なんだよ、また行きたいのかよ。参りましょう。
なりません。昨日あれほど申し上げたではありませんか。学則はこの学校に通う限り絶対のもの。破ることは王室の品格にも関わってくると。
それはでもメロンパンが。ああ、エルチンおこだね、おここだね。しゃあないシルビー、今日は諦めなよ。私一人で行ってくるから。今日はビッグナックかな。
こら、
痛い髪引っ張んなつに。
妃殿にまで王室の品格を求めるつもりはない。だが学則の違反は進められません。
ビッグナックの気分なのに。
なりません。ほら、参りますよ。食堂の席は確保してあります。
仕方ないわね。あら、 お昼ご飯はどうするかしら。
I brought my own, so I can eat wherever.
そう、気が向いたら食堂に来て一緒に食べましょう。
Sure. Off they went. Now then. Now that everyone I considered a friend had left. Oh. For some reason, there seemed to be more girls nearby. They appeared to be gathering around Jogasaki, who sat near me and were exerting some strong waves in my direction.
なんだか今日は食欲がそがれるわね。薄汚い匂いがどこからか漂ってくる。そうよね。ですわね。マストで気になるわ。
Ugh.
あら、市松さん、いらしたんですか？お昼ご飯はどこで？私たち、今からここで食べるんです。にしても見てください、窓の外。今日はとてもいい天気。どこで食べても美味しいでしょうね。
Yup. The harsh reality of my new school life had fully sunk in within half a day of transferring in. Everything was all well and good as long as I scribbled the day away, but the real danger was apparently during breaks. Where the heck was I supposed to go? Oh! After walking around the school for over half an hour, I finally found a nice looking spot. And no one was around. The sign on the door did say the roof was off limits, but... Oh, nice and relaxing. It was great to be alone. I was sick of everyone eyeballing me, so I'd better take a quick rest. What a hassle. There was nowhere for me to go. To be honest, I relied on Sylvie the second I was driven out of the classroom and headed for the dining hall. Even so, I didn't fit in there either. Sylvie and the others had taken the best seats in the back of the dining hall. They were surrounded by plenty of fancy-looking men and women. A commoner like me likely wouldn't be welcomed. I obviously wasn't shameless enough to waltz all the way to the back of the room in that social climate. Being new to the school left me in a bind with nowhere to go. Thank goodness the roof was open. So then, I still had half a day to go. Noble private academy. It certainly did seem to defy all expectations. Actually, I had done research online to brace myself for this yesterday. This academy had connections to various fields which enabled it to conduct its expert planning. Not only could one receive an exceptional education by attending the school, but they could also establish business relationships in their field of choice. The richest, most distinguished and influential people were lured here, making Noble Private Academy into one of the most elite schools in the country. It was the sort of academy that all of the nation's elites were eager to attend. That only made someone without any such rank, like myself, appear all the more inferior. All men are created equal in the eyes of heaven. But even if heaven did not make anyone superior or inferior, society would. It was just the way the world worked. In a certain sense, I could experience realistic human society firsthand while still a student. It may actually have been a well-designed educational facility. It was pretty insufferable being put on the quote-unquote inferior side though. Luckily, the weather was as fantastic as Jogasaki said. My meal was tasty too. Yeesh! This sucked. I practically scarfed down my lunch. Better hang out on the roof until the last second. Going back to class now would be like being thrown to the wolves. Ignoring the fact I'd been branded a commoner, it understandably hurt to be told I stunk. I would just kill some time. And then I suddenly realized. It stunk. What the hell? This rooftop reeked! Did it smell because of the gigantic water tank? No, it couldn't be. This wasn't the smell of humidity or rust, but of something much more familiar and almost suffocating. Cigarettes! I looked around me. There was no one else around, or anyone who was smoking for that matter. Maybe it was coming from below? Smoking. Well, it clearly had to be a teacher. Smoking was prohibited at almost all schools nowadays, though. Considering what a haven for the high-minded noble academy was, I assumed they'd be apt to burn you at the stake for smoking in particular. Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter. I went back to the classroom in the nick of time. Luckily, all of the girls had left the scene. And there was even someone here I could talk to.
なんとか全部消せました。
You erased the drawings?
当然です。まったく人の教科書だと思っているのか。
I wish you'd left New Ishikawa Takuboku though. It's the first piece I've been proud of in ages.
やめてください。偉人を冒涜するような真似は旧石川啄木であるべきです。
It's not like Forma became his new identity or anything. You haven't erased Madame Curie though.
これはその制作者である君の気持ちも考えて残しておいてもいいと思いました。決してそのおっぱいとかが理由ではないですよ。本当ですよ。
If you say so.
ただいまー。お腹いっぱいぱい。
シルビー様、歯を磨く時間を作るようにとあれほど。
All three of them came back.
ただいま、オーラ。ねえオーラ、午後からはどうする？
What do you mean?
この学園、午後からの授業はエキスパートプランって言って全部自由選択だよ。
Ah. Half of the day was expert planning. That was mentioned in my transfer student guidelines, wasn't it? If we are free to choose, does that mean skipping's an option?
強制はされていないが安心しませんね。
Looks like I had no choice. But I wasn't really into anything in particular at the moment. What sorts of choices are there specifically? For example, what do all of you do?
私はピアノの時間に当てているの。でも一人じゃつまらないから音楽総合でみんなに混ざってやっているわ。被服業種科目総合選択。なんだっけ？ファッションのやつ。
私は体育総合に。
あ、エル、今日は部活動の子たちがこの時間も来てほしいと言っていたわよ。
ですが。
ダメ。エルはフェンシング部の期待のエースなんだから。
自分は部に属したわけではありません。なまらないよう厄介になっているだけで。いいから王女様の命令よ。わかりました。あちらに参加します。
Music, fashion, and fencing. Maybe I should do one of the same? Oh, the first multiple choice segment. Sylvie, take me with you. Reina, what is it you actually do? Or, swordplay sounds manly and adventurous. Lena. Like clothing and fashion stuff?
そのまんまファッション研究。
I didn't get it. Then again, it being so over my head did pique my interest. Between the three of them, Allison scared me to no end, and she'd be even more terrifying if I picked Sylvie. By process of elimination, I was left with one choice. Shall we then?
Let's just see.
The study of fashion. In reality, I was clueless about anything related to fashion. To be honest, anyone who spent tens of thousands of yen on trendy clothes, accessories, shoes, or the like was foolish. In any event, it would likely be laid back, no matter what it entailed, considering Elena would be there. It seemed like their activities would be simple too.
以上、19世紀の服飾文化の変遷を見るに、現代ファッションは15年間隔の半期に入っており、つまり50年代の美術中期の反転に合わせて、その意見はわかりますが、現代はインターネットをはじめ高度情報化社会です。20世紀までの文化周期を当てはめるのは少数では？そうした意見に対するデータもまとめてありますので、資料7をお願いします。
皆さん、資料7に移ります。
What? This wasn't quite what I expected. I pictured something more casual, or for them to chat about modern fashion trends. Something like this. Whoosh, whoosh.
なんか新しく言ったネイルのとこ、もう超イケてなくて最悪。最悪。超ベリバー。でもあの店イケメン多いよね。それな。
Something like that. I had imagined an incredibly foolish sounding get together, and yet
資料7で提示した通り、文化周期の変遷は21世紀現在も過度な変容は見られないものであり。よくわかりました。美術文化的見地からのファッション類推のまとめ、ありがとうございました。はい、意見の反証ありがとうございました。
this was less of a discussion and more of summit at this point. They all sounded super intelligent. Oh yeah, Elena had successfully enrolled into Noble Academy, which scored 2 standard deviations above the mean.
疲れた。
They finished talking and Elena walked toward me.
もう大変よ。みんなの前で喋るって超緊張。ほんとつららつらたん。お疲れたん。
She ordinarily did act this silly too. That certainly sounded like it.
なんで敬語？
I knew it was Helena when she spoke in her usual slangy speech pattern. Was her earlier demeanor just an illusion?
ファッションって聞いてきたのに歴史の話してるからビビりっしょ。
A little. They were giving a history lesson. My brain couldn't keep up halfway through, so I hadn't retained a word of it.
ファッションってなんだかんだ繰り返すものだから、勉強するにはどうしても習得の歴史がいるんだよね。
I see. That's wonderful. Who could have thought it'd be a great get-together with such smart people? Come to think of it, the other girls did sound just as bright and cheerful as Selena.
お疲れーな。今日のよかったよ、レーナ。イエーイでしょ。ウェイシェーイ。
Or maybe not. No, these girls had also scored 2 standard deviations above the rest, but
なんか新しく言ったネイルのとこちょいバビってて目はもう。レーナ雑魚ビること多いよね。ちゃげな、あっこイケメン多くね。それな。
with all that complicated stuff out of the way, they more or less transitioned into talking about exactly what I'd envisioned. They had normal discussions after you peeled away the varnish. Noble Academy wasn't to be taken lightly. I headed back to the classroom. Are we allowed to go home now?
はい、転校初日これで完了です。お疲れ様でした。
Ah, so tired. I was exhausted from the bottom of my heart. It had been forever since I'd gone to school. Well, that was part of it anyway. Noble Academy was, how should I put this, intense. Our studies, people's gazes, and the educational policies. I was worn out from how dense everything was. You could also call it enriching, but still.
かり録音時君に取り入ったな、あいつ。
生意気よね、庶民のくせに。
Huh. This particular aspect had undoubtedly worn me down.
大変でしたね、市松さん。
I guess.
ノーベル学園は超一流を輩出するための学園というか英才教育機関。慣れないうちは大変な思いをすると思います。別のところに移るなら全力で応援しますよ。いつでも私を頼ってください。
Thanks for the offer. Yeesh! Hey! My classmate's scornful eyes suddenly grew envious the moment Sylvie showed up. These glares felt fantastic, definitely a relaxing effect.
ねえほら、私この後メロンパンを買いに行くの。一緒に行かない？
Melon bread, huh? Something sweet does sound good. Oh, sorry, I really need to finish moving into my new place and getting unpacked.
そうなの。残念。
I'd actually like to ask you a favor. Would you help me unpack?
それも面白そうかも。
シルビア走るの？我らがソルティレージュ第9王女シルビア様に対しユニークな提案ですね。
That's not it. Go enjoy your melon bread, Sylvie. It's not like I had any large items or luggage, so I'd probably be fine. Alright, my luggage aside, I still haven't heard where I'll be staying.
エキスナが説明したはずでは。
She explained it, but I'm not sure where it's actually at. Some of my stuff has already been delivered too. I'd assume I'm moving into the academy-owned dorms, right? Where are they? Hmm? The whole classroom seemed to stir. Even Kikuchio was acting weird.
手続きをしたのは私たちだが、何か問題が？
カバレロ様が。
いえ、問題というわけではないのですが。
It looked like he was struggling to elaborate further.
綾香。早く帰るわよ。
Hmm? What the heck was going on?